Thank you for your questions that you sent in regards to self-worth, self-esteem, and self-confidence. I very much appreciate it, and I wanted to just take a few moments just to answer to some of your questions here. And one of them you asked, how do I sort of sustain and keep the self-worth, when I find myself losing it so quickly? And this is a good question, of course, because, when we go out into the world and there's many different, places where we meet different people and we get confronted in different situations, and yeah, it can bring up all our stuff around our self-value. And to be home and alone, and we can sort of sustain this, feeling of, a nice kind of warmth, and for some people, yeah, where we're in our comfort zone. And then to go out into the world, it's sometimes we feel that we lose it. And what I would ask you is, where do you lose it? It's really good to check where you lose it, yeah, in certain places. And sometimes we lose it when we want other people's approval, or we want other people to validate us. Yeah, and sometimes we lose it when we compare ourselves to others. Yeah, when we go, oh, I'm not this and they're that, and I should be and they are, and so on. Yeah, this is where we start to feel deficient and, less than. And sometimes when we do this, fear of what people think, and that really sets us up in this whole kind of, storytelling and, what if, and maybe they're thinking this, and then we kind of adjust our entire life around, wanting their sort of approval. And it's kind of a killer to self-worth and self-confidence, because when we care about what other people think, it's sort of a trap. Yeah, it's a trap to self-value. Yeah, to really loving ourselves. It prevents us from really enjoying life. Yeah, and listening to the beauty of life. Yeah, when we're, entire cultures are out there adjusting themselves in what others might think of them. Yeah, you need to get married now. What are people going to think if you're not married now? Yeah, what are people going to think if you don't have kids now? What are people going to think if you don't have a really good job now? Yeah, it's amazing what we do because of other people, what they think. And I say, fuck it. Life is way too short to adjust our lives to what other people think. Really? I mean, do we really want to continue on like that? It's no fun. Yeah. What is important is you being loyal to yourself. Yeah. Being honest with yourself. Yeah. And being, valuing this. And instead of focusing on the other people, because at the end of the day, they don't live with you. They're not in your head. Yeah. They're not the ones who are, holding you at night. They're taking care of you. So when we are able to do that, we are able to sustain a kind of a deeper sort of connection with ourselves and a deeper self value, yes, and a beautiful relationship with this. Yeah. And then another person asked, which I really like, they were saying, when I go into my work environment and it's really toxic, and how do I keep up my self confidence there? I just go completely flat and down on myself. And that's not an easy one because it's your work environment. And then I say, maybe you need to start questioning why you're working there. Maybe you need to kind of reevaluate working there. And for some people, of course, it's around survival, it's the career, and it's a stepping stone, and there's all sorts of things. And I say, yes, respect, of course. You need to, go where you need to go. And at the same time, you need to honor what is happening here. And if you get all, excited when you go home, and then when you go to work, you kind of completely crash, and your whole self-worth goes down, then I would then start looking in the long-term picture. How can I shift this? How can I change it so that, I'm not maybe working there anymore? Yeah, I mean, that's something you might want to really consider. We have choice. We always have choice. So that decision is up to you. Yeah. And then there was another person who talks about, how do I even find my self-worth? Yeah, where is this self-worth in here? And, we've had so much sort of being relayed back to us in the media, and stimulations about how we think we should be, and adjusting ourselves and making this package a perfect package. But it doesn't exist. This perfect package does not exist. This feeling of an inner connection where we feel at home with ourselves, yeah, that exists. And I know it through meditation. So I would say to that person who asks, meditation. Because when we do meditation, all of a sudden the outer orientation of, that fixation of, trying to fit into the world and be perfect, that just goes to the wayside. And then we start to go inner orientation. How do I, sense myself? How do I, experience myself? And it's like, it's like coming home to yourself. It's a lovely feeling. And there we start to develop a deeper sense of self-worth. It's not out there. It's in here. And I think many of you know that somehow we still get lost in the trap of trying to find it out there, getting another person's approval, comparing ourselves, and fear of what other people might think of you. It's a trap. This is the most important place that we attend to. It's like our garden. If we can attend to this, then, we can make connections with other people, but it's not dependent on what they think of us. It's not dependent on their opinions, because we have a place that we call home that we feel relaxed in. Relaxed presence, relaxed confidence, and self-worth. So if this is something that you feel some kind of a connection to and you feel you'd like to explore more, I would love to have you in a next self-worthy workshop. I'm doing it online. This will be the third time this year, I think, and it's wonderful. And it's just a lovely way where we can deepen this kind of work and really journey in. So if you're interested, click on the link somewhere here and maybe we see you there. Thanks for watching.